Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Let's Max Warframe, where today we're going to be taking a look at the latest weapon to be brought back by Baro in the PC rotation, the Prisma Gorgon. Now I want to start with an apology. I ended up running out of time to make the Baro video, and even managed to forget to put a title on my Rainbow Six video, as some of you guys pointed out. I was at 10 VIP on Saturday night, simply ran out of time to get the video made, rendered and uploaded before I went. However, I'm back now, ready and raring to go, so let's take a look at my updated builds for the Prisma Gorgon. The stats of the weapon, they're exactly the same as when I previously reviewed it. 25 base damage, majority comes in impact, 18.75, 3.75 is puncture, 2.5 for slash. In addition, comes with 15% critical chance, 200% critical damage multiplier, 5% status, so basically nothing changed at all. And I'm going to link my original video in the description below if you want to talk, or hear me talk more in depth about the weapon and its features. But what has changed since that actual video is the introduction of a few mods that have changed my build slightly, namely Shadow Depth mods, plus a couple of Prime ones, so let's quickly look at the builds. First build is very crit focused. My original video, I went with a crit build over the straight elemental because it did actually do more sustained damage. In this updated build, it's pretty much a slightly more crit focused one than the one before, using Serration, Split Chamber Shred, Vital Sense and Point Strike with two 90% elementals. The main difference is replacing Heavy Caliber with Argon Scope. This, when combined with Point Strike and the fast fire rate and accuracy of the Prisma Gorgon, means you're actually going to crit a pretty decent amount. Combining that with the 440% crit damage multiplier that Vital Sense brings, means that you're going to get a pretty big damage increase over the standard Heavy Caliber build. And this is the one that I use the most often. The one downside with this build though is that if you aren't careful, you can fairly easily run out of ammo, so that is definitely something to keep an eye on. If you're not confident with landing consistent headshots though with the first build, you could always use the build I had in my original video, which is the same as the first one I've just spoken about, but instead of Argon Scope, you just put in Heavy Caliber. Because of the fantastic accuracy of the Prisma Gorgon, the effects of Heavy Caliber aren't as noticeable. Or you could even modify this even further, drop Heavy Caliber, full Prime Damage Mutation, and rely on volume of fire rather than worrying about ammo. Well, basically you just don't have to worry about ammo, but you're not going to hit quite as hard when you do hit. Or you could go for the third build, which is pretty much my, it's my fun build I would say, and that is the Prisma Minigun. For this I have Serration, Split Chamber Shred, Speed Trigger, Spring Loaded Chamber for fire rate when I reload, Primed Rifle Ammo Mutation for obvious reasons, and then two 90% elemental mods. I don't do enough of these fun builds, but this is definitely one that, while I don't use it that often, I do like derping around with it. It's a laugh how quickly it fires, and while the damage isn't great, the ammo consumption is through the roof. It puts a smile on my face more than many other builds on many other weapons. So do I recommend picking it up next time Baro appears, or maxing out if you've already got it? And the answer to that is yeah, I actually do. Like the recommendation I gave in the original video, this isn't going to be as good as your Soma Primes, your Bolter Primes, Bratton Primes. It's a ton of fun to actually play with though. Whether it's trying to get the accuracy required to be consistently hitting those headshots and proccing Argon Scope, or whether it's putting 1,000,000 rounds per second down range with the Prisma Minigun. This weapon can be modded to suit whatever playstyle you want, and be a whole bunch of fun doing it. I know it sounds weird to be saying it's worth maxing out, even though the weapon, when maxed out, isn't actually that good. And it's definitely not top tier sortie worthy for sure. But you don't need these ridiculously strong weapons all over the star chart, because it's not that difficult to begin with. So why not go for weapons that are fun to use? Prisma Gorgon can be difficult to keep on target because it does have a kick to it. Means you're going to be doing some recoil control, especially if you decide to go full minigun. And the recoil does make it more difficult to land headshots for Argon Scope. It means that this weapon actually requires a bit of skill to get the most out of it. Part of the reason I like it so much, to be honest. You don't always need a weapon to be the best thing in the game to be fun. Modding it to suit your style of play and making that weapon fun is the best thing to combat burnout, to be honest. And the Prisma Gorgon is one weapon that I go to when I want that little bit of fun. As always guys, many thanks for watching. It was amazing meeting some of you on Saturday night at 10 VIP. It was an incredible evening and one that I hope to be able to do again at some point. Comments or questions in the comments below. I do check them all, and I'm going to be going back and replying to as many as I can today. However, I shall see you in the next video.